Today on the Topping Show, Matt Walsh pulls mask off Fox News, Bud Light CEO breaks silence, Cartoon Network sneaks gender identity into cartoons, Yealing clarifies a drag event, actress makes an abortion cake, Supreme Court sides with Jack Daniels, Tesla is offering free charging as an incentive, Disney's CFO stands down, Virgin Galactic will start their commercial flights this month, Google to add to their fashion app, and Kroger, their stock just took a little bit of a dip. All that and much, much more on the Topping Show. Thank you for taking the time to tune in today. Today's episode of The Topping Show is sponsored by Topping Technologies. Topping Technologies is an IT value-added reseller and services company with a special proficiency in IT security. Heck, see their founder at least twice a day. Gotta say he's quite handsome and brilliant. He's me, that's a joke. If you're a business owner or an IT leader, you need a little assistance, you can reach the team at sales@toppingtechnologies.com. Other interesting, well, more accurately disturbing cultural news. You have an actress making an abortion cake. Yeah. Now, again, for most of my lifetime, I remember back in the day, growing up, I remember the advertising around the controversial issue because, again, it's a very polarizing and it became a political tool for people on the left and the right, which is partially my suspicion of why you'll never have a definitive answer in the United States in terms of legal versus illegal, because there's profit on both sides of the political aisle, where they'll campaign and say, hey, if you vote for me, I'll enshrine your right for an abortion to 9 months. Or someone else might say, if you vote for me, I'll get rid of it completely. There are only a handful of politicians I truly believe that they have an authentic moral statement and moral code that drives them to focus on that issue, which has become a political issue. But I digress. Now, in terms of the marketing and the framing of the issue, when I was growing up, it was promised. And again, this is more, if you look at political affiliations, Democrats they are the ones who believe in that and in abortion. And I was always told, oh no, we just want it to be safe, legal, and rare. You shouldn't be proud. It's selective, just a little bit. And again, this goes to show you that the slippery slope is no longer. It's not a theory. It is a proven. I don't know if the word trend is the right word for it. The slippery slope phenomenon, but I have yet to find a single instance where name your cultural or business or philosophical ideal or topic, once it goes down the slope, it just keeps snowballing. Now, again, it used to be safe, legal, rare. That was what we were told. And now it's just safe. Well, and in some states, legal. It was kind of interesting and moderately entertaining to see people freaking out when the Supreme Court overturned Roe versus Wade, because again, uneducated voters, there's a lot of them. People were like, "Oh no, it's gonna be completely banned." All the law did, and I almost had to spell it out. Still, it gave the power back to the states, so that people voting in those states, living in those states, can pass the laws they believe in, and they either restrict the act, or if you're like Minnesota, you can have it up to 9 months, which I don't know how anyone. And then there's also post. So there are actually politicians who voted, if there's a failed abortion where the baby actually lives, they still murder it. I don't know. In terms of my thoughts on the specific issue, I don't know how you wouldn't be okay with saying that baby could go up for adoption. It's there. It's on the operating table. It happened. Even if you don't want it, there are thousands of people who would love to have the opportunity to be a parent, and maybe they can't because of biological reasons, or they have some trauma where they can't physically do it. But it's one of those things where a lot of people really appreciate that opportunity, but these politicians and people vote to terminate that child. And I say child because it's there in those instances. Now, this is someone who goes by the name of Frenchie the Stallion. Now, this person is already, I'm trying to think of a nice way to say moronic, because this person is not an animal. I don't know if they're French. She might be. And that's just something that assholes use to sound smart. You mean the. I know some people want to sound smart and fancy by saying the, and there's probably 2 or 3 grammatical instances where it's correct. But yeah, this person's already uphill battle. Frenchie, but they look American. Now, this person called Frenchie the Stallion, which this person says, I got this abortion cake for a friend because we celebrate all milestones over here. And if you don't like it, I don't care. A milestone? Who the hell think that's a... I can't comprehend who would think that's a accomplishment or a milestone in your life. Even if your a political affiliation or your philosophy is pro-choice, why would that be something to celebrate? I don't understand that perspective at all. And I've read and researched both sides thoroughly, and I greatly enjoy the political debate and different philosophies that go back and forth. I'll never understand someone who is proud of that act. I mean, milestones are supposed to be great achievements in your life. Getting married, graduating from school, earning a special vocation or a special skill set that a lot of people don't have. Maybe starting a business, hitting a revenue or a sales mark, or having a kid. That's a big milestone. That's something parents wish for and pray for and try for. But no, this person is saying that it's literally something that they celebrate. And the cake, which, again, the cake actually has a woman, and it's a meme, a meme, as some might call it. But it's a lady literally throwing a baby into like a basketball hoop or something. Now, not only is that distasteful in terms of there's probably enough sugar in that cake to give you diabetes and kill you. Well, maybe not kill you, but it's also distasteful because, again, why celebrate that? It's ridiculous. And I think this person knows they messed up because culturally speaking, they probably thought they were going to have a whole bunch of people saying, hooray, good for you, which there are many people who believe that, but they were very much ratioed on the Twitter, and they actually locked their Twitter. So I tried to do a little bit more research to learn about this individual to see if this is an outlier behavior, if they've just been a long-time sociopath or something. And now if you click on this person's Twitter, it's locked, and it says, you can't see the post unless you are a quote-unquote approved follower, which sounds exclusive. But this person only has 3,759 followers. Although, free plug, reach me at Nick Topping, NICTOPPING on the Twitter to hear more about the podcast and other fascinating things that I go about. Let's try to be here. I can't conceive of a world where I can't just get one more follower, and I think we can together. And I appreciate every one of you tuning in and taking the time to listen and follow me. But, you know, they always say sunlight is the best disinfectant, which is why I tried to do my research to learn more about her. Although, sunlight also burns witches, and they melt witches, if the Wizard of Oz is any parable for life, or an accurate prescription. So perhaps that's why she locked her account, because she can't stand any sunlight to actually give you more illumination into what or who she is. And it just shows the cultural decay of America and globally, where I also read on the TikTok, because of this incident, it is trending as people are saying, yeetus the fetus. Now, yeet is a cultural phenomenon in which I guess it means to throw something. So yeetus, although it actually sounds like a really sad, crappy Harry Potter spell, which, yeah, that's not good either. But I don't know, a lot of these people, it is a big movement. Pun moderately intended when you look at who's pushing these ideals about abortion cakes. They're quite big. But from a culture perspective, it is nice to see a little pushback where I think more and more people are realizing it's not appropriate to celebrate that act. I was told, again, when the marketing material when I was a kid, that it was an extremely difficult decision, and it should never be taken lightly. And many people, I believe, only think it's appropriate in the case of the mother's life is being threatened. But it's interesting to see the culture maybe shift a little bit, where people are starting to wonder, is it really appropriate to celebrate? Thankfully, I think more and more people are waking up to the fact that, no, you should never celebrate this act. But that's just my 3 cents. Maybe 4 cents. Inflation's getting pretty bad. But unfortunately, I'm not old enough to run for president. Time shall tell to see who fixes it. I want to thank you for taking the time to tune in today. It really helps me out. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Also share with your friends. Each one of those things greatly helps the channel grow and develop. And the more we can build the channel, the more we can reinvest back in the channel with exceptional content and technologies, maybe have some picture-in-picture someday. Also, don't forget to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone to stay safe and fight the good fight.